ClaimKit's document viewer is very easy to use and quick to learn. You'll notice I have a few documents here. These are emails and attachments to those emails. For instance, we're going to select Enron 005. This is a Word document. You'll notice the viewer brings up the document, and at the top of the screen you'll notice back and forward arrows. These arrows actually move from one document to the next inside of the directory that we are on. So you'll notice we're in email 001, and this is Enron 5 Outlook 8.doc. I can click on email 001 folder and show you that we are on 005 Outlook doc. We'll get back to the document. And now we've talked about the back and forward buttons, so we're on document 5 of 25 inside of email 001 folder. You'll notice an up and down arrow. These are moving to the next page or previous page of the document. You'll also notice that you can type in, for instance, let's say go to page 50, and this is page 50 of a 73-page document. You'll notice it took a brief second to bring up the document as ClaimKit loads the image of the page you're on simultaneously. So the document, as you go to it, that page will be loading. So since we jumped to the page 50, it took a little bit extra time, but not much. Again, if we go back to page 51, 52, and then go back to page 1, you'll notice it goes right back. Moving on, we have the zoom tools, so we can zoom out, we can zoom in if we need to look at something very closely. We can also fit to width. This is a very, very good, nice and easy view. Looks very good on screen. We can also fit to height. So if you have a document and you want to look at the document like this, we can go page by page and see the entire pages. You'll also see a save icon. This is if you've added any annotations, you must save those before moving on to the document. Now don't worry, ClaimKit will prompt you and inform you that you've made some changes to the document before you proceed. This icon here shows and hides all annotations. So if multiple members of your team have annotated the document and you want to see the clean version, just toggle those on and off with this button here. Now let's move into the actual annotation tools. Here we have a sticky note. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this file and say, oh, here's a sticky note. It's the emergence of the new economy electric. We're going to select the sticky note, add one here, and just go ahead and type in exactly what we're seeing. Now, of course, anyone could make any sort of comment on this, but we're just getting the ball rolling. So where if one of my colleagues had to come in and make a reply to this, they easily could. So you could reply and say, this document must be used. Let's say it's very, very important. So we can reply to that, close it down, and you'll now notice that there's two messages about this comment. Now as we scroll down the document, we're moving around, and let's say we find, oh, we've got the ROIC isolates the effects of financial engineering. So I'm going to select my highlight tool, and this is the text highlighting tool, and say we want this line here. This is important to us. So when selected, you'll see ROIC isolates the effects of natural engineering. So the item that we selected actually goes in your notation here. So now we can make a comment of this. Financial engineering? I don't quite understand. So this is a way where another colleague could come in and say, you know, you should, this is reply to this and give clarification on the matter or what have you. But what's nice is that your summaries are on the right hand side. So you, as your team makes more and more annotations, you can cycle to these annotations simply by clicking these on the right hand side. If there are more, let's say if we go to page 25 for instance, and we want to pick on value-based analysis, I'm actually going to highlight that and use the highlighting tool. and we'll say 2 to 5 years. And you'll notice it shows up here. Now likewise, there's a search option. So let's say we need to find everywhere where we talk about PECO, P-E-C-O. You'll notice that PECO is highlighted, and again, we can just scroll through the document and find where every instance of this is at. Likewise, we can move on to tags, and we can say, well, this document needs to be tagged as PECO. It looks pretty important. So we're on the document. It doesn't matter what page you're on because this is a document level tag, but we're going to just go ahead and tag this. Oh, here's our prompt. It says that we've made annotations that are unsaved. Let's go ahead and stay on the page, save those annotations, and now we can go ahead and tag. We'll tag this with PECO. We'll add that tag. You'll notice that this has been applied to the document. And now if we wanted to get back and retrieve this document at a later time, we can run the tag search from here to isolate those documents. We also have a strike through annotation. So if you wanted to cross something out of a contract, if you were creating a contract, let's say for someone, you could strike through things to get rid of them, and another great way of annotating. Another awesome tool is the search similar. So when you select a portion of text and click on search similar, it actually looks for every other document with that text that you selected. So for instance, we selected earnings and it found 9 different documents with earnings inside of it. So from here we could go on and review these documents. Maybe tag these a certain way. So maybe we get in here and say, well, we know earnings is in here, so where's that at? Where is earnings at? Oh, there's earnings here. Likewise, we can change the color of our annotation. So our highlight, if we wanted to say, you know what, we want to change that to yellow, not red, you can change the highlight to yellow. Yellow highlight. If we go back to our summary, there's our yellow highlight. The last button here is your help button. This actually takes you back to the ClaimKit website, just like the other help button does, up here in the top right hand corner. So now we've discussed the viewer. It's very easy to use. I recommend you get in there, start annotating your documents and collaborating with your team.